My name is Arielle Bobb-Willis. I am from New York City, born and raised in Lower Manhattan. I'm an artist. I think that's like the foundation of it all, and like photographer kind of comes like second on the pyramid. I've always been interested in people. When I first started photography, my first like muses were like my little siblings. And I was just starting out with photography, so I was really nervous about just like asking people to let's have a photo shoot. I was just nervous because I didn't really know that much about it, and I was just like testing. So they were there, and like they were always running around and like giving me face and like doing all these weird faces and like running and moving and all this stuff. So I was just take pictures of them, and they were always just so light and playful. But then I started taking pictures with my friends, and I always had a camera with me, so everyone just thought it was normal. And like then people started getting comfortable, and I'm like, oh, I just started taking pictures of people on the street, and I kind of like slowly opened up over time, like, and then I started asking people like, let's take pictures, and then I like had like specific ideas I wanted them to do, and then but it's always been people. Yeah, I don't like being the center of attention. Like, I'm not that kind of person. So for one, like, I want my photos to like express who I am like fully. So that's like the simplest way to put it. But also, like, I found photography like at a time where I was like super super depressed, like in that small town. I moved to a small town when I was 14 from New York City to like a really small town, and it was really hard to adjust. So I had like depression, which then developed into depersonalization, which means like you just feel completely separated from like yourself and reality because of your anxiety, and you're just like, why am I here? Like, what? You kind of feel like you're not real, or like just because the anxiety is so much. I always felt like my body was something I was like renting more than, and I still sort of feel like that now, but it's not like like crazy. I don't think about it as much, but yeah, I felt like my body wasn't really mine. It was just like given to me. So that is kind of seen in my work, where the body is just like a thing, and it's not. They're not like using their arms like at functionally, I guess. It's just like, oh, they're like, it's a thing that's coming out of this like other shape, and this is a shape, and this is a shape, and it's like breaking it down to its most like, I guess, abstract. There's a lot of parts of my life where I felt that like uncomfortable. It's like being uncomfortable with yourself, and then being uncomfortable with your environment, and then there's times where I'm comfortable with myself but like not comfortable with my environment, and sometimes like my environment looks cool but then I feel like, ooh, like nervous, and it's just like this like back and forth, and I kind of like am searching for like the harmony, like me feeling comfortable and my environment around me feeling comfortable, and I think everyone kind of wants that. So I think everyone goes through that like internal external struggle all the time. Yeah, I think social media, it's like a lot of noise. Like, it's just like a lot of noise now, like for everyone. But like people my age, it's like we're always on the internet and like social media, and like just it's double the noise. And for me, I just have to like sit and like take time to kind of like step away from it all and just like be with myself and like get to know myself. That's like what like any advice I would give people nowadays when it does, like, there's that struggle with all these things going on. It's just to kind of, you have to like step away. For me, as like a black woman, I think it's really important for me to see um, like black people in contemporary art and like doing contemporary art and abstract art, and because I feel like we've been doing it for like centuries and forever, but like bringing that to light and like continuing that is really important to me. We're not just one thing, like we have, or it's like there's many layers to like who we are. I did a exhibition in Brooklyn where it was like there's like little kids there, seeing like all the kids like, why did you take this? They're like, well, that girl looks weird, I had hair like that, or like something like that. Like just having them like see like art and see themselves in it was really cool. So for me also, one thing that I like learned as I kept shooting and shooting and shooting and doing this, people are like, is that a girl or a guy? And I think that's amazing too, just like not having any like real boundaries. Like I'm like a guy wore a dress in one of my shoots before, showing that it is like a spectrum. And like that's another thing of like our generation. I think we're more sensitive and like accepting of like people, you know, gender fluid or like whatever they are, like just being more sensitive and accepting. I feel like other generations are like, what are you talking about, like they, and like using pronouns, and there's just like a bunch of stuff, and I feel like I'm definitely affected by that.